Like if you have a normal job, good, start a YouTube channel. And they say it just becomes job security because you still have your job until you don't have your job anymore.
I see.
So
I was just telling Danny there's another game that we should play called The Isle, which is your dinosaur, and you can be dinosaurs all together and be in like a pack of raptors and stuff. Down. Oh my gosh, it is the funniest thing.
There's one that I was going to send you guys. It's where you're a bunch of aliens that have taken over a gas station.
Oh, yes, I've seen that
one. And the whole point of that is to try to make it so people believe you're human. And if not, the FBI come and you have to find a way to thwart the FBI.
But you poop like
just randomly
material
stuff.
Isn't that roadside research?
I think so.
Game,
yeah. So there was a few. Unfortunately, the Steam sale just ended. I was looking for ones, but
boo.
But I also. Julie was like, you know what you need to do is you guys need to just get a bunch of GoPros and go to the golf course
and do golfing with twaddling along,
and then just have snippets of you guys golfing. And it'd probably be really
that would be hilarious.
I get real cussy on a golf course.
Well, that's the thing.
That's why we have.
Yeah, that's literally why we have the blood.
There would be a lot of blood. My entire thing would just be like.
There would be. We'd have to somehow like turn me down quite a bit because I get really loud on golf courses.
I mean, if we have good mics,
we can get those mics that everyone else has.
So we might be able to.
Yeah, the ones that you have for the recording.
Attachment.
It would just be really funny, or me running running over Josh's golf ball with a golf cart.
You know,
my favorite thing.
You realize that golf courses are now open.
So
here in Utah.
See, we just gotta. Danny and I have to figure out our backs first.
Amen to that.
Here's what we'll do. You guys coach me.
I'm in physical
therapy.
That
would be hilarious.
I'm going to try to see if I can get physical therapy.
It's been great. The irony is that the thing that threw out my back was physical therapy, but it's not the physical therapy's fault.
You did physical therapy.
No,
you're overcompensating.
I was doing exercises, and during the midst of an exercise, I sneezed. And that is what threw my back out.
Isn't that the worst?
So it's not the exercise fault. It's that I sneeze. And the good news is where I normally throw my back out didn't get thrown out.
Hey, pause. We should probably start this so we can have this instead of the music over the top of it.
All right. Welcome to the Twaddling Along podcast. I am your host, Dan McBride, here with my brothers and co-host, Josh. And Jake.
I hurt myself.
I did too.
I was just about to say, since we're continuing the story, this past 2 weeks have been literal.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's been
it's been
since the
pretty
beginning
bad.
of March.
It's been awful.
We have had quite the experience.
I think I'm the only one unfazed from these 2 weeks.
Danny, you've been nights in the hospital.
It, Joshua.
I was gonna say you're 2 nights in the hospital, Jake. Your wife was in the hospital.
Yeah.
And now you've thrown out your back.
No, I've thrown out my back.
I mean, for heck's sake, people.
Do you want to know how I threw out my back? It wasn't a sneeze. I was spraying spider spray down and trying to...
oh, my gosh.
I did it for so long at that stupid angle that it finally got me. So
it gets you. I think mine has been weakened because I was in bed or pacing, or the thing that we'll just say I had kidney stones.
Pretty severe.
And it was a pretty gnarly one that lasted for a good long time.
And here's the thing. You just wanted to be like Mom because Mom had a kidney stone.
Mom did have a kidney stone right before I did. And so, but one of the things that they kept telling me to do was the jump and bump. Have you ever done the jump and bump? The jump and bump is where you drink a lot of water, like too much water.
Where your pee is so clear, it's ridiculous.
It is the streams from the canyons, let me tell you. But then once you get your kidneys full of water, you jump, and you're jumping like nonstop for like a good 15 minutes. I think that's probably what weakened the back. And so the stretching to get my hips to open up, because that's also part of my life now as a near 40-year-old, that did me in when I sneezed. And why did I sneeze? Because Utah's 112 degrees outside, and the trees have decided that it's time to pollinate, to have relations with each other.
You know, I've never thought of that before, and that is absolutely disgusting.
Yep.
So what you're telling me is when I breathe in outside...
Don't say it. This is a family-friendly
podcast
program.
Danny, did you finish any crosswords?
I did actually.
No good.
Yeah,
Wait.
I did. Jake brought me over a
Care package.
basket
Oh.
of care package that included water, which I did use.
I got the big one.
You got me the
The
gallon.
big gallon.
Yeah, I brought when
jugs.
Josh had his. I brought him over too. So
I had the
it's
gallon.
it's my tradition now for
I
you guys.
spent a
Is
whole
it the Arrowhead gallon, right?
Yeah.
I spent the whole day with my gallon of water playing Red Dead Redemption and jumping up and down the hallway.
That's good.
a
Well, you should have
horrible amount of
invited
pain.
me. I'll play Red Dead with you.
Would you? I've been playing the story.
Which one? One
Two.
or two? I love two.
I like to.
Online two is fun.
I said, I don't know. I'll have to see if we can hop on. It would be funny to play that online, but
I think once you download it on Gamer Pass, you still have
My,
access to it.
I still have multiplayer access on,
Mhm.
and I got it through Steam.
yeah,
I think-
I have the online through Steam.
Yeah, I
I
think
don't
that's
know if
what
I have it through.
I had
Xbox.
Gamer Pass, but anyway.
So, did you have any of the apple vinegar?
I did. I had a few shots of apple vinegar. I tried everything, absolutely everything, for me to go back into the hospital the second time because I was in such pain, and the doctor pretty much be like, I don't know if any of that stuff works, and I was so mad until he gave me
The good stuff.
the good stuff, and then I wasn't mad anymore. I was having a grand old time. Which, by the way, I have some pity for those who get addicted to pain pills and pain medication, because I get it. If you're in a lot of pain, that morphine is it's nice stuff.
I will say I am not admitting to anything, but every time that I've had to get surgery for kidney stones and that stuff hits the bloodstream, ooh,
Yeah,
I love it.
They gave me the stronger stuff. That's the hydromorphone.
Oh,
Have you ever had that stuff?
instead of
morphine?
yeah.
It's like the one step up from morphine. Oh, it was great. I was just like, I don't feel anything. And then my wife says that I get very talkative on pain pills, which, by the way, I'm on pain pills right now. So I'm probably going to be a little chatty.
And that's all right.
Kathy. The end of my story.
That's a good story, Danny.
Thank you.
So, if everyone will write letters, we're going to be having a sit down in the next month with Danny.
Hello.
We'll have I almost called it intermission.
We'll have an intermission.
It'll be an intermission to
Danny,
this podcast,
this is
that's
your
for sure.
intermission.
No, I
I almost said intercession too.
Intercession.
there's some
Danny,
Isn't that a religious
we're
term?
going to take the pills for you.
yeah, seriously.
What is that called? Intermediary.
Intervention.
Intervention. Thank you.
An intermediary.
Oh. So Danny's on pills. I'm not. And this is already not good.
I'm actually not. So I'm only on
You know,
ibuprofen
only
right now. but-
morphine at this point. So.
No, I wish. I mean, I don't wish. Or do I? Dun, dun.
If our doctors are listening to this right now,
Shout out to Dr. Holyoke. Holyoke?
I think it's Holyoke.
I can't remember. He's a great urologist.
You've seen him.
Shout out to
Shout out
Dr.
Dr. Holyoke.
That one doctor did.
The doctor that takes a look at my pee-pee when it hurts.
Yes.
Ooh.
I just
It's-
brought up
He
horrible memories for Josh.
he has seen all of our.
I will just say
Except mine.
this.
Oh, except for you. I thought you went to him.
Not yet. I probably will.
I was
good.
going to say Dad's going.
We're
We've
getting to that. We're
all-
getting to the age.
Here's what I'll say. Everyone at the Jordan Valley Hospital and the Riverton IHC Hospital has seen my junk.
Great.
And let me tell you this. Every time
They were unimpressed.
I flash exactly. It's always like, oh. And then I get really self-conscious. And then it just makes it smaller.
I saw a joke the other day, or I guess it was more of a I don't know. It was a clip where the person's like, "So, you have bone issues. Someone figured out how to see the bones with an X-ray. Women got pregnant. They found out how to see the baby through ultrasound.
Ultrasound.
When we're having all sorts of other issues with our body, MRI.
And CAT scan.
But to check the blasted prostate."
You get 2 fingers up your butt.
In case you kids didn't know, welcome to the Twaddling Along podcast.
Where all of us have prostate problems and kidney stones
Hooray
and back
for
problems
growing old.
and weight issues as well.
It's a great way to lose weight, kidney stones. You don't eat for a week and then you're down like 20 pounds. It's awesome.
Well, good for you.
I don't recommend it.
Yeah.
Jake did that when he had his issues.
When I had my gallbladder removed.
We are just a mess,
And to be
gentlemen.
honest, I think I gained weight when I had stuff like that.
Oh, really?
No, let's be honest. When I had the flu just after our trip, I lost like 15 pounds.
Yeah.
And then I put it all back. No, what happened is I gained it all at Disney, and then I just lost
You
it.
lost the Disney weight.
Yep.
Okay.
So.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Should we actually get to today's episode? And it's...
No, what time is it?
I have no idea. Don't make me sit up. My back hurts. My back. Yeah, we got plenty of time. There we go.
Well, that's not good. Let's continue talking about our problems.
Why is that, Josh? It's because it's Josh's turn to pick the subject. Today, on Twaddling Along, we're talking about history again.
Ooh.
And history is a very exciting topic.
Ooh.
It's Josh's favorite topic, which
It is
means
my favorite topic.
that Josh prepares
A lot.
very much.
And probably a lot more than should. What?
Should.
I am not an English major.
I done did prepare more than I should.
You know, I listen to some of our podcasts,
Oh?
and I realize I sound like a freaking hick from the mountains of freaking Utah.
Well, because you say the word frickin' heck. You don't
From freaking Utah.
And I said
frickin'
mountains of Utah.
mountain
next to
up there, Layton.
next to the creek.
Do you guys say crick or creek?
Creek.
Little Cottonwood Creek. I think I say creek.
Little Cottonwood Creek.
Do you say crick or
Are
creek?
you looking at me?
Yes.
I say creek.
Now, how do you describe the shingles on the roof?
Shingles on the roof.
What,
That's how I
what is
describe
that?
it.
What's that called? How do you describe it?
Shingles on the roof.
I call it a roof.
Oh, a roof.
Oh, you call it a roof?
Yeah.
You called a roof.
Say I'm a
See,
roof person.
You didn't have Grandma Minson yell at you.
For
Enough.
saying roof?
Well, for saying anything. That's why I say mountain with a T.
Oh.
I don't say mountain. It's mountain.
I think I have the most hick accent.
You are pure Utah. That's for sure.
I will say that I am lazy. If I can say a sentence with less syllables, I
Like
will
that
do
one right
so.
there. If I can say a sentence with less syllables.
Josh just picks up accents wherever he goes. So.
That's true. I went to Canada for 2 years and I picked it up pretty good.
You did.
You did.
You
When you
sound
came back,
very
you were,
Canadian.
You
Yes.
were the way you
So
talked
much
is
so.
great.
I think you said beg a lot for bag.
Oh yeah, for bake.
You did say was it A?
You did.
Oh, for sure, eh?
Yeah, you did say a.
And sometimes I work with some Canadians. I work all international, but they'll talk to me and then all of a sudden I'm realizing that I'm saying things and I'm like, oh, I hope they're not offended.
Y'all go up to their Timmy's, eh?
Oh, let's go to Tim Hortons there, eh, and get some coffee and yeah,
Donuts.
donuts.
Is Tim Hortons donuts as good as they claim?
So I think so. Have you had Dunkin' Donuts?
I have had Dunkin'
Very
Donuts.
similar.
See, and I'm not a big fan of Dunkin'.
Tim Hortons is known for their coffee.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
It's like a Starbucks.
It's more than a Starbucks.
More than a Starbucks.
It's like if you take Panera Bread and Starbucks and mix them together.
I don't like Panera Bread either.
That's why I didn't like coffee.
Mmm.
I mean,
That made a lot of sense.
you're not supposed to like coffee anyway, Josh.
That's true. It's against my beliefs. Anyways, do you want to know what we're talking about?
Something Canadian, I'm sure.
Well, half of it's in Canada.
Oh, shoot.
We're talking about Queen Elizabeth. But not the Queen Elizabeth you're talking about. We're talking about the Queen Mum.
The Queen Mum?
Yep.
Queen Mum.
Elizabeth's mother.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. I was watching
Elizabeth
her
Angela Marguerite Bowes Lyon.
Yes. I was watching a documentary about her, and she reminds me very much of our grandmother.
She's a very intense lady, though.
Yes.
She was like super intense.
She ran the monarchy.
Yeah, she was George the...
She was a commoner.
Was she really?
She was before she married. And the only way that they were able to get married was because he was not in line for the throne.
Really? I thought that her dad was still like a lord.
He was a lord, but not. He wasn't. He was like very
Lord of the Commonwealth.
Yeah, he was a commoner. So, but yeah, we're not talking about that at all.
I see.
We're talking about one of my favorite places on earth, and place that I have actually visited, Niagara Falls. More importantly, not just the falls itself, but the people dumb enough to try to fall over it. So yeah.
Let's talk about what is Niagara Falls, Joshua?
Well, the native word, ongiera, probably not spelled that or said that way.
I love when I make you read stuff. It's seriously one of my favorite parts.
Ongiera. Yeah, it means thundering water. That was what New York Times used in 1925 because that's accurate. But the Iroquoian scholar Bruce Trigger, not Tigger, because I read that earlier and thought it said Bruce Tigger.
T-I-double-G-R.
Said that the word Niagara is derived from the name given to a branch of the local native neutral confederacy, who had described as the Niagara people.
We gotta be careful with that.
That's why I read it really, really fast.
That didn't make it any better.
Let's kind of have to.
Okay. Anyways, the other person, George Stewart, stated that it comes from the name of an Iroquois town called Onguara.
Or Onagara.
That too.
Okay.
There's no in the between the
Oniagarah.
No, from what I'm reading, it says Onguiaarhra.
Oh, well, then listen.
Meaning point of a land cut in two.
Oh.
But yeah, there's a lot of different Native American folklore of where the name Niagara comes from, but it is a native name, probably anglicized by our dear frickin' European friends who showed up and said,
Anglicized? I think it was romanticized because it's the French who named it.
oh, well then, jeez. That explains everything.
French's fault.
Yeah, it
Freaking
was
French.
not just any French person, the French guy who actually founded Ontario.
Yes.
Samuel de Champlain.
Champlain, who was so impressed by it that he just reported it to his people and never wrote about it.
Well, and he never went to it.
Yeah, he never
just,
did.
He just
He
trusted,
heard about it.
He trusted the Native Americans, or let's see, the First Nations people, I think is what they are being called now.
The Five Nations.
The Five Nations, excuse me. He trusted
Let me double make sure, because I don't want to insult my friends who are up there. First Nations. You're all right.
Anyways, he just trusted them and said, oh, that sounds great. And then wrote back and said, this is just the most amazing thing, but never actually went to it.
Yes. The first description of the falls actually came from 1677. Father Louis Hennepin, which was a Belgian missionary. He's the one that described the falls. And a depiction of it was drawn in 1698. And for anyone who wants to see it on Wikipedia, that's where I'm looking. There was actually, the falls back then had an island in the middle. Hence one of the names that we talked about earlier. Now that island is not there.
Ew. It's because of erosion.
Erosion.
Isn't it like, I can't remember, I was reading somewhere, in like 50,000 years, there won't actually be a Niagara Falls anymore.
Yeah, it will just be like...
It will just, Lake Erie will just kind of go into
Did you say 59,000 years?
I think so.
Good news. We're not going to be alive for that.
Says you, I plan to live forever.
Oh, Danny's going to make his brain turn into AI.
Oh, that'd be terrible.
So a
Probably
lot
get
of...
like AI kidney stones.
You probably would.
Dang. So a lot of Europeans visited the falls. Very famous Europeans, explorers visited the falls. And then in the 19th century, so the 1800s, it kind of became a tourist destination. Notable people, Theodosia Burr Alston, who is Aaron Burr's daughter. The song Dear Theodosia is named after her.
I don't know what that song
That's
is.
from Hamilton.
Oh.
Napoleon Bonaparte's brother Jerome visited it as well. John Franklin, not related to Benjamin, was a British explorer. He visited it too.
It was a bitter British explorer.
I just want to be in my house.
But it kind of became a household name in America from Frederick Douglass.
Yes.
Frederick Douglass joined the American Anti-Slavery Society's 100 conventions tour through New York and the Midwest. And so in 1843 and roundabouts, he went and visited Niagara Falls because on the Canadian border there were some things. And it ended up becoming one of the main routes actually, for the Underground Railroad.
Mm-hmm.
So much so, if you go to Canada today, Niagara Falls, and then southern Ontario going west from the falls, there are still signs of the Underground Railroad, and they have little museums along the way.
Yeah, one of the biggest actually is the Niagara Falls Underground Heritage Museum.
Yep.
It's actually one of the largest. It's kind of a really cool thing. I looked into this a lot more because I was kind of super curious about this. The crazy thing is that people in the Underground Railroad would actually have like hope in hearing Niagara Falls.
Yes.
So the closer they get, because it roars, and so
Yeah,
you can hear it a long ways away.
Have you guys been?
No.
Neither of you. Literally, when you're next to the falls, you are yelling because it's so
It's
loud.
deafening.
Yeah.
And so they would listen for the sound of the falls, and they would know they were close, and that would be their like sign of freedom. It's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah. So I've actually been to Niagara Falls. I've been to the museum itself. I've also been on the trail leading to what is called Windsor, which is on the west side of Ontario, where a lot of the Underground Railroad went to, just on the other side of the river of Detroit. And yeah, it was a huge hub. It was a main hub for transitioning from the United States into Canada for the Underground Railroad. And after that, really, it became a huge tourist destination for Americans and Canadians alike. So much so that they started building basically this ginormous town, which I call Little Vegas, because that's what it looked like to me when I was there.
It was one of the main ways that the auto industry in the United States actually promoted what they called auto honeymoons. So people, like all throughout the United States, as far as like from New Mexico, I was reading, the auto industry and Ford would actually hire out a car to newlyweds and give them vouchers to go to Niagara Falls. So could you imagine that you got married in like southern Utah? The local auto store says, "Hey, you can rent us a car, and then we'll give you tickets to go to Niagara Falls, and that will be your honeymoon." And it was like incredibly successful.
Yeah.
So much so that like Niagara Falls throughout the 30s, 40s, and 50s was having a better economic boom than even New York City, which is wild. And
That is
then
nuts.
people decided to try to go over the falls. Well, I guess they were trying to do that well before, right?
Let's hold on. Right after people started trying to go over the falls, there was a very famous event that happened. Two famous events. 1911, the falls froze completely solid. One of the only times in recorded history that has occurred, where it no longer roared. It was a still, quiet ice, and people actually walked out to the very edge of the falls on the ice, which is crazy.
That creeps me out.
1918 is when the iron scow became stuck on the rocks, which is still there. When I was there, you could see the boat. It is stuck. What happened is a fog came over and the boat didn't know where it was, and then heard that it was, or started hearing the falls, turned and got stuck, kind of beached itself. And they were only about probably 160 feet from the edge of the falls.
Ooh.
And they didn't know it. So the boat's still there. However, it says, then this was after I finished, during a storm in October 31st, 2019, it moved 50 meters closer to the edge of the falls. So really, really close. So,
Ooh, cool. That's scary.
I do know that there are, there's talks of trying to remove the vessel or secure it because it's become kind of a landmark for that.
Did you get to go down into the tunnel at all?
I did not. So when I was there, the tunnels were blocked off because they're now power. I mean, they've always been power things, but they were closed when I was there.
There is one that's still open, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I would love to go to it. It's literally called the tunnel. You can only get on it through the Canadian side, but it's like this gigantic, huge tunnel that like you go all the way out
and walk right underneath the falls.
Pretty much right into the falls. It's kind of cool.
As Disneyland would say, the backside of water. But let's talk about the real reason we're talking about Niagara Falls. And that's the stupid people who thought it was fun to go over the top of the falls. In recorded history, there has been a ton of people who have attempted to make a name for themselves by going over the falls. First and foremost was a school teacher. Do you guys know that?
Or are we not going to talk about the tightropers?
Oh, not yet.
Oh, okay.
We can talk about them later. I don't care about the tightropers. I care about the barrelists.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself.
You did a little bit. But that's okay.
First recorded stunt using the falls was the wreck of the schooner Michigan. In 1827, local hotel owners acquired a former Lake Erie freighter, loaded it with animals and effigies of people, towed it to a spot above the falls, and let it plunge over the brink.
It was a big event, too.
It was. People paid 50 cents to see it.
Yeah, they were really excited about it.
Of just effigies of like famous people.
Yep.
That is a special kind of like vindictiveness.
Yes.
To spend money to make an effigy, spend money to get a boat, and then spend money to watch said boat go over the Niagara Falls.
Yes.
I love that. I love everything
so
about
that. So that was in 1827, which is absurd. That's almost 200 years ago. In October 1829, Sam Patch, who called himself the Yankee Leapster, jumped from a high tower into the gorge below. Now, for those of you who've been to Niagara Falls, the falls itself are pretty big.
Yeah,
in the sense
they're huge.
So jumping from a tower into the gorge is hundreds of feet, and so I can't imagine why he did that.
He didn't make it, right?
No, he did survive.
He did.
Thus began the long tradition of daredevils. So he was kind of the first daredevil to jump into the bottom of the falls. But let's be honest, it didn't last long. In 1883, Captain Matthew Webb, the first man to swim the English Channel, drowned in 1883 trying to swim the rapids downriver from the falls.
That's crazy.
So that's at the bottom of the falls. Let's get to the main falls itself with our dear Miss Annie Edson Taylor, who has gone down in the history books as one of the craziest women ever and an outright feminist.
She was.
She wanted money. She was a school teacher, and people said she wasn't crazy enough to do it, and she said, try me, dang it. And so what she did, she had a custom barrel made that had her name on it. And she put herself in it with a mattress and had her friends dump her in the river.
Well, at first, the story's even crazier than that.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, so she started off, she was a widower.
Yep.
And so she thought, I need to make a little bit of cash money on the side. So she made a barrel and threw a cat in it and threw the cat over the edge to see if the cat would survive. The cat did survive. And so she thought to herself, something, if the cat survive, I'll be fine. She lied to people saying that she was younger than she was, saying she was 42 years old.
And she was 63.
She was 63. She's someone's grandmother that is going over the edge in a barrel.
Now, I have to remind people, there's actually 3 falls that are attached to Niagara Falls. There's the American Falls, which is just boring. Skip over that part. And then there's the Horseshoe Falls, which all of these...
it's the big one.
It's huge, and it is definitely worth it. And it's known as the Canadian Falls because almost the entire Horseshoe falls in the Canadian side. And that's what she did. She went in a barrel and went over the edge. And the barrel saved her life.
It really did. They believed at the time that if they filled the barrel full of air, that it would help compress the air around her, and so she would be good. And
She did?
she did. I mean, they got to her. She had what, like a cut on her head? Isn't that what it
Yeah,
was?
she was bleeding, but other than that, nothing. Now you have to think, this is 1901. 1901? Yeah, 1901. The most just very little technological barrel. Literally a barrel with a mattress inside filled with feathers. Nothing to really help her. No science behind it. She just kind of got in it and went for it. And as we'll see later on, people who thought that technology could help them, it did not. So yeah, she's crazy. She went down as the first person to start this crazy barrel daredevils who tried to go over the falls in barrels. The next person was a 58-year-old barber from Bristol, England, our Charles Stevens, who went over the falls in a wooden barrel in July 1920. And he died.
And died.
And didn't make it.
He said
dead.
that a man could outdo a woman, and he didn't. He died. Bobby Leach went over the Horseshoe Falls in 1911 and needed to be rescued, but failed. Wait. No, he did. Wait. I'm getting my facts mixed up here. Hold on. Yes, he did survive, but he had to be rescued. 1920. Oh, wait.
No, Bobby Leach survived. He was going to perform for Barnum and Bailey Circus, and he went over the falls in a metal barrel. But he was there. He was 6 months in the hospital because he broke both his kneecaps and fractured his jaw.
Yes. Now,
The picture they took of him afterwards, you can see he has several.
He was not in good. He was not in good spirits.
I've seen both the first barrel and this barrel.
And the
this
Bobby
was
Leach barrel.
Yep, the Bobby Leach barrel was basically a coffin that was a metal welded shut. And when he went over, he didn't realize he had hit anything. The adrenaline at the time, he thought everything was fine. When he was pulled out, people were surprised he was alive. And when he got out, he realized there was a ginormous dent in the coffin-esque barrel he had because he slammed into the rocks at the bottom of the falls, and that's what broke his kneecaps. So much so that if he had been turned around with his head where his knees were, he would have died. No ifs and or buts about it. There you go. Smiling Jean Lucier tried to entirely different concept. This was the first time someone didn't go down with a barrel per se, but he went down with a large rubber ball and was successful.
He was.
He lived. People freaked out because he disappeared, but then they saw the floating rubber ball down the river at the end in the gorge, and it was good, which is crazy.
Good.
So, would you guys be crazy enough to do this?
No.
Not even remotely.
Not even. Not a little bit.
Here's what's crazy to me. So, we'll flash forward to now, just briefly. It is now illegal to do this. So much so that you can be exiled from Canada and or put in prison for a very, very, very long time. There's been a few Americans who are no longer allowed in Canada because of this, and there's Canadians who are serving very, very long sentences. But the the fence that surrounds the falls is very small. There is little to no barrier between you and the actual falls. It is very easy to climb over and to jump into. This is where I plead to the Canadian people, build a wall. Bill, and
Build a wall. Huh?
and make the Americans pay for
Make
it.
the Americans pay for it. I knew you were going to say that. That's hilarious. No, I do not understand the whole concept behind daredevilry. I get adrenaline junkies. I understand. Like I do understand like someone who is willing to jump out of an airplane for the idea of like adrenaline, but to make a career out of like risking your life seems to me to be ridiculous. So I don't understand it.
I don't either.
And I don't consider myself like risk averse because I'll take risks. But nothing like this. Like nothing like I'm going to make a barrel and go over the water and that's going to make me famous. Like why?
It's only how many foot drop?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't recommend it.
No.
And I will actually advise people to not do this at home. Ever.
To stay away.
To stay away, go rock climbing with ropes and safety
and
equipment.
safety and everything above. Yeah, it is kind of crazy. Like I was looking at some of the non-stunts.
Yes.
Like the accidents and how many people actually like survived.
Yeah. One that's called the Miracle at Niagara, July 9th, 1960. Roger Woodward, a 7-year-old American boy, was swept over Horseshoe Falls, which is the Canadian side, after the boat in which he was cruising lost power. 2 tourists pulled his 17-year-old sister, Deanne, from the river only 6 meters from the lip of the Horseshoe Falls. So like 20 feet.
Really close.
Woodward fell over the edge and was picked up by the famous Maid of the Mist boat, which had a bunch of tourists. They just saw this kid floating in the water with his life jacket on. Now, the uncle who was captain and was steering the boat at the top did not survive.
Well, so here's some statistics. So we talked about the survivors.
Uh-huh.
Since 1850, more than 5,000 people have gone over Niagara Falls, either intentionally, like stunt-wise, or accidentally. Out of those 5,000, only 17 have survived.
Yeah.
So the chances of you surviving going over Niagara Falls are very, very little.
Slim. And here's what I'll say is the sad part is of those 5,000, there is maybe just below 100 of them that intentionally did it as a daredevil stunt. The rest, sadly, had mental issues, suicide, or accidents. So
who was the guy with the turtle?
Jake?
You were talking about the turtle guy, Jake.
Oh, now you're gonna make me look it up.
Yes, I am, because I didn't read the turtle story.
Let me see if I can find him. Let's see here. Let's look over here. I'm going to keep talking so we don't have random silence. George Stanthicus. July 5th, 1830. George Stanthicus, along with his pet turtle, Sunny, took a plunge over the mighty Niagara Falls in a barrel made of wood and steel. The massive barrel was 10 feet long and over 5 feet in diameter, weighing close to a ton. Although warned by Red Hill Sr. that the barrel was too big and heavy, George's mind was made up and he performed the stunt despite the danger. After plunging over the falls, the barrel would be caught behind the falls for over 24 hours, killing Stanthicus by lack of oxygen. The only thing that survived the ride was actually his 150-year-old pet turtle.
See, and that's the other thing that we have to bring up. First of all, kudos to the turtle.
I mean,
shout out.
Well done, Mr. Turtle.
I say that turtle lived for quite a bit longer, I think.
But that's the other thing that people don't tell is the waterfall is one thing. What they don't see is the rocks at the bottom, but then the whirlpool keeps you under. Unless if you could somehow swim and or get lucky enough to get pulled out of the whirlpool and get pushed down the river. If you get stuck anywhere in between there, you're screwed. You're not going to survive, just like our dear friend with his turtle.
So the moral of the story is
Stay inside.
stay inside.
So I was just reading a little bit more about our good friend Bobby Leach.
Bobby Leach.
So we spent 6 months in the hospital recovering from injuries he sustained during the fall, which included 2 broken kneecaps. We already talked about that. After all that, in 1926, he was on a publicity tour in New Zealand. Leach was wandering around and slipped on an orange peel and injured his leg, which then became infected and got gangrene and amputated his leg immediately afterward. And then he died 2 months later. So the man survived going over
Niagara Falls.
Ooh.
Then died.
Is there a curse for doing that? Is it sacred by some people?
Ooh, I
so
don't
it's a curse
know.
for it?
I think it is because the Niagara Falls were also known as where the gods of thunder lived by the native people.
It was a sacred site, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was cursed.
Kissed.
Cursed.
Oh man, I got onto a super sad thing where they were talking about like they actually don't know the number of people that have died in Niagara Falls because it is kind of a popular place to.
And like I said, and that's what's so sad is it's from where I was. I have pictures of myself right above the edge of the falls, and the fence itself is maybe 3.5 feet. I could easily just hop over and just go. And so you got to change your minds, build a bigger wall. So let's go a little bit further in time. 1984, Canadian Carol Suchek from Hamilton, Ontario, which is a steel town, plunged over Horseshoe Falls in a barrel with only minor injuries. This is when the Canadian government started realizing, hey, we need to stop this. And so they started fining people.
They started finding people?
Fining, giving them fines.
I'll find you.
I just want to know. So you get to the bottom, you survive miraculously, you come out and they're like, here's your ticket.
No, literally.
I think, and they arrest you now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like those guys who climb up the side of like skyscrapers. I was going to say skywalkers.
Skywalker, or the pyramid.
Yeah. They throw the hammer down. I watched one. I can't remember what the skyscraper was. Guy got to the top, probably exhausted. Cops didn't care. They just like full on tackled him and they're like punching him while he's up there. So
there you go.
Here's what's crazy. So Carol Suchek survived the stunt. He was fined $500 for performing the stunt without a license. So in the 80s, you needed to get permission.
You have to have a license for that.
He wanted to recreate the Niagara drop at the Houston Astrodome. Has anyone been there?
No.
Huge arena.
How does one do it in the Astrodome?
So he, let's see. His aim was to climb into a barrel hoisted to the rafters of the Astrodome and to drop 55 meters, 180 feet, into water tank below. His barrel released prematurely from the rafters. It was not secure, and he hit the side of the tank and missed the water and died instantly.
Oh my
good heavens.
gosh.
So this was literally like right after he had about 6 months later is what they say. So I have this thing that I'm starting to notice. People take their luck, they survive the falls, and they're like, hey, let's go show everyone else how I did it.
Invincible.
And then they die.
They really do.
Yeah.
Once again, it's that whole mentality of I'm going to push it to the limit until I'm dead. Like Evel Knievel. I never I also don't understand the concept of finding entertainment and watching something like that.
No, for example, gymnastics for me gives me the heebie creepers.
The heebie creepers.
Yes. So imagine watching someone who could die while you're watching. I don't like it. The heebie-jeebies.
The heebie-jeebies.
Her heebers jeebers.
Oh, jeepers. What is that a Velma thing?
Jinkies? This is what Alabama says.
That's not... Anyways.
It was close, Josh.
You were getting close.
Yes. Now here's where we start getting into some crazy stuff. Steve Trotter, 1985, youngest person ever at age 22 to go over the falls in a barrel. He survived. And then 10 years later, he did it again because he thought he was cool and survived again.
We're going to have to go over the human condition of people that seek the adrenaline junkie.
It would be really interesting because I just got done watching Solo, the guy who does the solo climbing.
Oh, yes.
God, what's his name? Hold on.
I want to say it starts with an A. Like
Is
Austin.
Alex?
Alex, yeah. Alex. He just climbed a skyscraper.
Yeah. Is that what his name is?
Yeah, free climb. Look up Solo, the movie.
Solo, the movie.
No, not
Alex Honnold.
I mean, if you
there you
want to
go.
learn more about, Han Solo, by all means. Look up a Solo
No,
movie.
I watched the Solo movie with Alex Honnold.
Yes.
And they did they did something where they put him into an MRI and then they flashed horrific images to see if he would respond to it. And supposedly, he has a decreased emotional response to everything. Literally everything, happiness, sadness, whatever. And so to get some kind of emotional kind of feeling, they think that people have a tendency to they have to go and do something extreme.
Do you
I had
guys
to do that?
do you
for
guys
something.
who know who Magnus is? The Norwegian
rock climber?
rock climber.
Yeah.
He went and did a solo, or not a solo climb, but a free climb with Alex. Magnus is genetically, they actually tested it, genetically built stronger upper body than most humans on Earth, which makes him such a good rock climber. He's ranked in the top places of the world.
Yeah.
He went with Alex, and he was absolutely terrified.
Can you
frozen
imagine?
on the rock, and Alex was balancing on the side of his foot, videotaping, and was talking about how, oh yeah, my friends just fall over, they get exhausted and they just die, and stuff like that happens.
Yeah,
but
there's no emotional response. Yeah.
The most dull person, but at the same time he was so excited about doing it, and it was what in the world is wrong with you? So I think these people, this Steve Trotter guy, he did it multiple times. I don't know if it was for fame or just because he thought it was fun.
Do you also think that some people just have kind of a suicide mentality and say, look,
If I die,
If it
I
happens.
die.
I die. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the other thing is some people have tried to commit suicide going over Niagara Falls and have survived.
And lived. Yeah.
And that creates a huge thing. So
It is super sad.
yeah.
Hopefully it's a come to Jesus moment.
Yes.
Is what it is.
Okay, now we're going to be moving into the 90s. Now, the 90s is a wicked time for the stunts and daredevils because they start using modern technology to their disadvantage. Instead of using barrels or floating devices, they start using boats or jet skis or canoes or all this stuff. And let's be honest, not a lot of them survived.
No.
Jesse Sharp in 1990, a whitewater canoeist from Tennessee, paddled over the falls in a closed deck canoe. He chose not to wear a helmet to make his face more visible for photographs of the event. Just let that sink in. He also did not wear a life vest because he believed it would hinder his escape from the hydraulics at the base of the falls. The hydraulics being the power generators that power basically all of northern New York and southern Ontario. Anyway, his boat flushed out of the falls, but his body was never found. They have you seen the pictures of that?
No.
It is terrifying because all you see is this canoeist and he's going over the falls, and that's the last thing you ever see of him.
Yep.
Well, what's crazy is that, I was just reading, they know that you cannot survive over the American Falls.
Yeah.
The American Falls are unsurvivable.
Yeah, the rocks, there's no water at the bottom.
Yeah, it's literally just rock. You are literally falling into sharp-edged rocks.
Mhm.
And yet people still try.
Oh, it's fine, Danny. The water will take me.
Here's an interesting one. And this was what was supposed to be, or supposed to raise awareness for the homeless, but ended up being a horrible, horrible thing.
Robert Overcracker.
Yep. Robert Overcracker, also known as the Firecracker, on a jet skied himself all the way to the edge of the falls and was supposed to rocket propel parachute down to the river below. It failed to open and he just fell to his death on the rocks below.
And unfortunately had to be recovered by the Maid of Mist.
Yep.
Which supposedly that was another thing I was reading. The Maid of Mist picks up bodies all the time.
Yep.
That's
because they float.
Imagine that's a big touristy boat too.
And people are getting married on it. Like that's a huge thing.
Yep.
There's like marriages and stuff. So
no, thank you.
Ugh. But it's a beautiful place.
It is a beautiful place, and the Maid of the Mist is pretty awesome. Into the 2000s, there are several people who have attempted and who have failed. There's people who have jumped in without flotation devices and have lived. But at this point, Canada has made it illegal, and a lot of these people are arrested and or kicked out of the country for good.
Which, for all intents and purposes, I think is probably the right call.
Yes.
Look, if you want to have a thrill, go jump out of an airplane.
Yes.
And parachute down.
With a professional.
If you want to, yeah. I don't know.
So there's been a lot of daredevils. But there's also been some weird circus acts that happen over the falls. Did you guys know that?
No, tell us.
For example, and this was only taken down recently, not too long ago, just after 2012, they had a high wire in between Canada on one side and attached to America on the other side over the Horseshoe Falls. And tightropers would do tricks on the high wire. So much so, at the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum, they have a bicycle, metal bicycle, that sat on the high wire that was used often by a certain individual, and he would bike. That's how he'd get to work, is he'd bike across to the American side, go to work, and then bike across to the Canadian side.
Just on the tightrope?
On the tightrope.
In the 1850s, they had, what's his name?
Jean-François Blondin.
Yeah, that
Gravelard.
one. And he did. I think one time he carried out a bucket and did his laundry.
Yes,
in the middle of
he sat
falls.
and he carried out his manager on his back.
Yep,
and they have a picture of him doing it.
I can't remember if it was him. There was someone that. Like, he kept crossing and people kept cheering him on, and he kept saying, like, do you want to see me do it with a wheelbarrow? And they're like, yeah. And then all of a sudden he's like, do you guys think I can carry anything across? They're like, yeah. And he's like, who volunteers to come with me? And
no one
will want to do it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But him and I think someone else had a competition where they just kept doing crazy, crazy antics back and forth across it just to try to one up each other. So,
and which is crazy to me. I look at one of the other most popular tightropes was in between the Twin Towers, and that was a huge, huge thing.
It was a huge thing.
But this was way further.
Oh, like incredibly far. Like
the gorge is ginormous.
Have you seen people like do those long slack lines?
Yeah,
it's just a fancy word for tightropes anymore. But like they'll do slack lines across like the Grand Canyon and everything, and I just think that is. The amount of concentration that takes, number one, but number two, the amount of like flex. Like, because no matter how tight you get that rope, and that rope has got to be pretty darn tight, it's going to flex up and down. Yep. And in the middle, it could flex up and down 10, 15 feet.
And here's what's crazy about the tightrope that was over Niagara Falls is it's always windy. The amount of force from the falls creates a draft that blows really, really strong, and the tightrope is right in the middle of that. And so it is. They said that you would start here, and it would bend. You'd have to walk out and back to the position because the rope was blowing sideways. Can you believe that?
Oh my goodness.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Let's see. There's a ton of attempts. There was a lady who handcuffed herself and blindfolded herself and walked across.
That was Maria.
Maria Spelterini, 23-year-old Italian. She walked across several times. She even did it wearing peach baskets strapped to her feet. Like, that's unbelievable.
It's just, oh, people. And the reason they're doing it is because they get money. I mean, that's the thing.
Honestly.
It is a draw for people. And I keep coming back to it. And obviously it's something in human nature and we're going to have to talk about it. But
Yes.
I really want to know not only the people that do it, but the people that want to watch it.
Yeah, I can't. I get too.
I get woozy.
Yeah.
I'm almost like empathic about that kind of stuff where I feel like I feel the dread that they should be feeling. So I don't know.
The last person to walk across the tightrope on the falls was a man by the name of Nick Walenda in 2012. The first person to walk across the falls in 116 years. So it was actually outlawed because of the permissions of the government. But he did get permission. The full length of the tightrope was 550 meters. Quarter of a mile. Or more, almost 2/4 of a mile, half a mile. While Lenda crossed near the brink of the Horseshoe Falls, so he actually did a longer portion of the gorge than most people did. And it's known as the longest unsupported tightrope walk in history.
Now, he was required to wear a safety harness.
Required to wear a safety harness, and
I mean, that doesn't do you any
Canadians...
favors.
The Canadian government required him to have a passport in the back of his pants because when he got to the other side, they had to check it to make sure he was legal. And if not, they were going to arrest him.
The things we'll do for the sake of things.
One more stat that I think blows my mind. Danny brought up, 5,000 people have attempted and or have gone over the falls. Very small handful have survived. Here's what's crazy. And this is nuts. According to river expert Wes Hill, 90% of fish that go over the falls survive.
90%?
90% of fish.
Fish are just built differently.
Do they just hit the rock and then plat, plat, plat? And
I don't know. I don't know if they just go limp and then just,
Or can they ride the water all the way and then
Well, have you
jump?
guys ever seen like trout
go
seeding?
upstream? Yeah.
No. Have you ever seen trout seeding from airplanes?
Oh, yeah.
They'll
They
like
just drop
fly.
'em?
They'll fly over the top of like a lake and literally just dump the fish out into the water, and they're like mostly perfectly fine.
Mostly. There's a few
So
that-
here's the thing. Unless if you're a fish, don't go over the falls. Because the percentage of a human doing it compared to a fish is not even like, it doesn't even make sense. Niagara Falls, everybody.
Niagara Falls. Everybody should go. I want to go. I really
Absolutely.
do. I want to go so bad. I want to go up to Buffalo, and I want to have some buffalo wings.
And like I said, so I've been there. I've been on the Canadian side, much better. No offense, America, but you suck. Anyway, I've been, and the falls are something that's super cool, but there's also a ton of museums. There's an amusement park that's right there.
And it's not too far away from Toronto, right?
Let's see. It's about, probably 3-hour drive from
Oh, really?
Toronto.
Oh, I thought it was less than that.
No. I'd say, 2.5, somewhere around there.
Let's find out how close Josh is ready. An hour and a half.
Bull snot.
That's what it says.
Bull snot.
From
Oh, I guess that makes sense. I'm sorry.
from the Royal Ontario Museum to Niagara Falls is an hour and 22 minutes.
I was going from Toronto to Kitchener, which is a lot further west, and then back to Hamilton, which, yeah. Anyway,
Well, that was exciting, everyone.
Niagara Falls. If you want to be like a crazy feminist teacher, go make yourself a barrel and stay put. Don't go off the falls. You stay home. You teach those children what it means to be a proper adult.
And don't throw cats over.
And don't throw your cats over to test. No animals were harmed in the making of this podcast.
All right. Final words. We're going to start with Jake.
That came too quick. What did we talk about? What were we discussing again?
I did see your picture you were drawing. I think it's really funny.
Oh, thank you. I was working on the picture for most of this, so I just had an idea and I just wanted to
just so everyone knows, when Jake stops talking, it's usually because he's drawing.
He's had an inspiration.
Yeah.
I've had a moment of inspiration. So, honestly, I don't think we can dive too far into this for serious lists.
Dive.
The whole idea of going to Niagara alone is just ridiculous. So to dive off of it afterwards is even more so.
Jake, I think you'd love it.
I probably would from inside.
Inside what?
Watch it on a 4K, 8K television set.
It does look very pretty
It is beautiful.
when you do it from the TV with popcorn and maybe reclined on a chair.
Nice.
Excellent.
So yeah, that's. I am not a daredevil. I have never been a daredevil. I have never sought for any means of adrenaline. So I don't get it. And especially when you put your life on the line, there's too much else to live for. It's not worth it.
Not worth it is what he says.
All right. I've got a Niagara Falls joke.
All right.
Ready?
Yep.
Niagara Falls, but never sinks. That's my final word on the topic.
Niagara Falls, but never sinks.
Thank you. It's a play on words. It was awful.
It was. It was something else.
It was amazing.
I don't know what to say.
My father promised me that he would take me to Niagara Falls and then canceled. It was a false promise.
Oh,
False promise. That kid's going to be ruined for life.
I drove past a billboard promoting Niagara Falls as the tallest waterfall in the world. Turns out it was false advertising.
are all of them just going to be falls?
The guide was showing Niagara Falls to a man from Texas and said, "I'll bet you don't have anything like this in Texas." Texas said, "Nope, in Texas we have plumbers who can fix it." I don't get that one.
Here's a funny thing. Speaking of plumbers that fix it, because of the power plant that they have underneath the falls, they can completely stop Niagara Falls.
They did it in like the 1960s. They shut it down.
They redirect the falls. They have actually like huge holes that they can open up, and it shuts down the falls and it pumps the water out to the gorge underground instead of going over the falls.
We did a tour behind falls.
Oh, that
the
was gonna be
falls of
mine.
Niagara. We were leaving the tour and going up the elevator. The elevator operator said, "Is this your first time?" Me? No, I've been on many elevators.
I found that one. I like that one.
So awesome.
Oh, there's some really random ones too.
There's some inappropriate ones I was going to start, and then I read the whole one and went, "Oh."
A guide was showing Niagara Falls to a man from Texas and said, "I'll bet you don't have anything like this in Texas." The Texan said, "Nope, but in Texas we have plumbers who can fix it."
Hey, wait, I just said that one.
I did. I wasn't listening.
All right, final words, Josh. It's up to you now. End it. End it good.
Here's a very interesting fact. The amount of water going over Niagara Falls actually erodes so much rock that it shifts back several centimeters per year. So by going in 1 year, you won't see the same thing the year after.
That's why in 50,000 years, Lake Ontario and Lake Erie will not have the Niagara Falls in between them.
It's true. I highly recommend going to Niagara Falls. I've been there. I loved it. I spent a whole day there. You could spend several days in that area. Shout out to the Rakoff family who took me there.
Oh, that's nice.
Did you do the one with the mother and the daughter?
No.
Okay, I have to read this when Josh is done.
Okay. Niagara Falls, the American side sucks. It's just a waterfall. But the Horseshoe Falls in the Canadian side is a work of art.
Josh, you're going to get killed.
You are going to.
You know what?
Do you realize
If
what
I
kind
get-
of political climate we're in right now?
In the country you live in, you twit.
You know,
Mark
Americans make great things,
You
but
entered
Canadians...
into that group. Thanks a lot, Joshua.
You.
Twit.
All right, Jake's going to take us out on a joke right after we say thank you so much for listening to us. We will be back next week with a paranormal episode. I believe it's mine. Is that correct?
It is yours.
Ooh, I've got a good one. It's going to be a little freaky, a little scurry, I think. Maybe not the way that we do things in this podcast.
It's going to be an amazing one.
But it will be fun. All right.
Wait, did I do it last time?
No, Josh. No, you did.
What did I do?
Ghosts of the Revolutionary War.
Oh, that's right.
Glad it made an
Glad
impression
it's
on you.
stuck.
All right, Jake, take us out.
Are we doing a podcast? A family was standing on the Canadian side of Niagara Falls, as Josh says, the beautiful side, I guess, looking out at the raging water. Look, daughter, the mom said. Look, daughter. Did you know on this side of the falls is one country, on the other side of the falls is a different country? Really? The daughter said, amazed. Yes, if you're on this side of the falls, you're probably Canadian. And if you're on the other side of the falls, you're probably American. The daughter looked out at the falls again, and while she took that in, what happens if you fall in, she said. Before the mom could answer, Dad piped up, you're probably Finnish. Josh, you gotta get this before we cancel Josh.
Finish.
Finished.
As in...
You know what? This podcast sucks.